So we'll be looking at another Korean Eternity post that came out on the Korean Eternity microsite. So this one's all about chairs and sitting. Suddenly the sitting position and posture change and the legs are buried in the chair. You can kind of see how like the feet are like buried in the chair there and how that doesn't look right. It's like clipping through. And then when you stand up, I stand in the buried chair. Your character like appears in the middle of it. So this is going to be about how to fix all that. Looking at the current state of Pleon Engine, there were issues with sitting down and standing movements. Suddenly the position changed and the awkward sight of the legs being buried in the chair was seen. So why does this happen? This is because each character has a different height and leg length, and size of the chair is also different. Development points for implementing natural sitting, so these are the things that they plan on adding to help your character sit better. Applying these 7 elements will result in much more natural movements. When you use the rest skill, you should be able to find a chair within a 5-meter radius and sit on it. When generating the navigation mesh, the area where the character can move, considering the character's maximum collision box size, there were cases where the chair was inaccessible. I explained the situation to the person in charge and adjusted the chair collision box to make the chair accessible. So there is a large height difference between a small character and a large character. So yeah, there is a height difference between like humans, giants, elves, and like whatever age that you have your character set at, because the age system is basically like a height adjuster for your characters. This diversity allows us to create data assets that can be customized by race and age. So prepare to sit down. When sitting, the direction you look should be towards the chair, that is, the opposite direction you approached the chair. Even if you move to the sitting position using the route finder, there may be a slight error, so this position error is also corrected through interpolation. This process takes about 0.2 seconds to process naturally. And sit down. While playing the sitting motion, slowly adjust the position of your hips to the sitting position of the chair. In the Pleon engine, there was a phenomenon of bouncing when adjusting the height before sitting down, but this was improved by adding additional processing to move to the target position through interpolation during the animation. For the same reason as the starting sitting position, small characters are set to sit in front of the chair, and large characters are set to sit inside the chair. This can also be adjusted by race and age in data asset. So we can see that example down here. You can see a small human character, and you can see that when she's sitting on the chair, she's sitting more towards the front of the chair. And we have a taller giant character, and when they sit down, like they're further back on the chair, it looks like. So you can see how this already looks a lot better than it currently does in our current version of Mabinogi. Although those plants are kind of clipping through the bench. But this is just a test, so I'm sure they'll iron that out. And this was posted by Chair King, so cool avatar. But yeah, this is all about like chairs and like sitting and how all those physics work. So there are finally some new posts on the Korean Eternity section, and we're going to be taking a look at some of them. So we're going to start with this one. I think Mabinogi is a game that requires you to check a lot of things on the screen often. There are many reasons for this. The inventory is unique and the number of skills is just too numerous. However, before focusing on the UI on the screen, I focused on the most basic screen. This has been a frequent topic among relatively new players in the development lab. So I compared it to recent games and considered how I could make Mabinogi's screen more pleasant. So this is all about like field of view and how we can make the screen for Mabinogi better. So here you can see 3 different images of the field of view. So right here they're zoomed in to the back of their character. And then here they're zoomed out a little bit more and you can see a little bit more behind them and in front of them. And then here they're like zoomed way out and you have a good view of Dumbarton. The field of view refers to the field of view on the game screen. This will likely be familiar to those who enjoy taking photos. So if the angle of view is low, the range visible on the screen is narrow. The higher the angle of view, the wider the range visible on the screen. To make it easier to understand, let's look at some in-game example images. So they do have some example images here, and also some example videos, but these videos are taking a long time to load, probably because I'm a North American player and this is on the Korean website. But I have 2 of them loaded up, we'll take a look at those. So here's the first video, and you can see that they're zoomed into the front of their character, and you can see a lot of Dumbarton from here, so a few things have been moved around. You'll notice that the staircase to the town office is a little different, and there's a big staircase going directly up to the magic school now. And also the mailbox is over here instead of over here. So a few small changes to make Dumbarton feel better. But overall it still looks the same. Let's take a look at this. So here you can see them zooming out and zooming in and zooming out. Gives you kind of an example of what it's going to be like and how smooth it is. And for the next video, they're actually going to run down this street of Dumbarton. So this is what it looks like when a new player is entering Dumbarton in Unreal Engine. So yeah, all these videos here are pretty much the same. If you look at the images and videos, you will be able to feel the difference between narrow and wide angles at a glance. So yeah, these are pretty cool. Currently, the live-action version of Mabinogi features a 45-degree field of view. Considering the average monitor size when Mabinogi was first developed, this isn't a particularly unusual figure. However, the problem is that over 20 years have passed. The monitor sizes used by militians have also increased, and the amount of content on systems in-game has significantly increased, resulting in a massive increase in what you can see on the screen. So yeah, that's definitely true. I play Mabinogi with a 24.5-inch monitor because that's what works best for me, but Mabinogi sometimes has trouble on like really big monitors. You'll have to mess with the settings a lot to get it to work right. So first, this narrow field of view needed to be broadened to fit the modern game. However, it'd be problematic if the difference from the screen you're accustomed to while playing was so great that it felt out of place. So yeah, this is pretty tricky. You do have to make like little adjustments like this to make Mabinogi more modern. So yeah, there are these two videos here as well, and I would play them if they weren't loading so slowly, but you can come to the Korean Eternity section and load up these videos, or try and download them. It might take a little while, but you can see them that way. I've tried setting different minimum and maximum angles to ensure a natural change when zooming in and out with the mouse scroll. A closer look reveals that objects in the distance move slightly differently when zoomed in and zoomed out. As I adjusted the angle of view like this, I realized there were more things to consider than simply fixing it to one number. So this is actually a room in Albi Dungeon in Chernanog. There's also some posts about how they're redoing the boss room and a couple other rooms in Chernanog completely. I need both a distant view and a closer view for a clearer view of the character, and these two perspectives had to be properly differentiated. At the same time, I had to be careful not to accidentally switch perspectives. If you accidentally scroll in the middle of a hunt and get pulled into a character, you'll be in big trouble. Yeah, that would be bad. And here we can actually get a cool view of Chernanog. I actually downloaded this video, which you can do by clicking right here and selecting download. So we don't need to wait for that one to load up. Let's pull that up next. Okay, so here's the video of Chernanog, which actually looks pretty cool. So you can see the fence here, you can see the torches. I like how the fire is blue instead of orange. Like, that looks really cool. It would be awesome to have like a Halloween event here. Like, this looks really good. And here they're zooming in a bit. And here they're zooming out a lot, so you can see how some of the fence here is destroyed. And it looks like there's a wolf or maybe a warg like right out here. So this is just like off to the side of the bank. So yeah, this post has a lot of information about the field of view in Mabinogi and how they're going to make it work with like bigger monitors and stuff. So this is definitely worth checking out. You can come to the Korean Eternity site using Chrome, and it'll translate all this, so you can read it more or less. So let's look at a few more posts in the Eternity section on the Korean Mabinogi website. So we have a few new posts here. There are two videos that we're going to look at. We're going to look at this video and this video. And here we can see some of the NPCs from Bangor. And here we can see Shattering Windmill. So this is what it looks like in Pleon Engine. And this is what it's going to look like in Unreal for Elemental Knight, the Shattering Windmill skill. So Shattering Windmill looks pretty good. I like the new look for sheeps too. And then we have this video here. So on the left side, they're doing like the tailoring skill. And on the right side, they're doing something with a mannequin. And that also looks like it involves using the tailoring skill, because you can see the tailoring skill icon above her head. And here we have a picture of what the dragon ruins just outside of Bangor will look like in Unreal. Like, here's the dragon ruins, and here are the buildings surrounding it. So this looks really good. I like how you can see all the mountains and stuff off to the side. I'm not sure what that is. It almost looks like a tent or something. Maybe it's just a weird shaped rock. So I'm wondering like what's going on up there. The ground is also pretty flat up there, so maybe there'll be new areas to move on. That'd be kind of cool. But it kind of looks like one of these wooden structures that are kind of around the dragon ruins. So that might be what I'm seeing like over here. Okay, so let's look at another Eternity post on the Korean site. So this one's Anchor Rush Chain Slash Development. So this is about like chain blades and how those move and work. I'd like to introduce a work that naturally extended a chain using Unreal Control Rig. So in Pleon, you had to cram all the chain-related bones into the character bone and control them directly. And here you can see what all that looks like from their end, like programming that in. But now that we're using Unreal, let's do it like Unreal. So chain weapons can be separated from the character and managed independently. Plus, if you use the control rig that Unreal kindly provides, chain work becomes much easier, so why not use it? So cleaner, more flexible, more Unreal. Controlling the length of the Anchor Rush chain. So this is going to be about like the Anchor Rush skill specifically. And they talk all about how they did this. And here you can see how all this works. So a structure that is usually easy to control in a control rack, and the reality, so you can see the whole process for this, which is kind of cool. It looks like they're using a Kraken leg for this example here. I guess that would move in a similar way to a chain blade, so it makes sense that they're using that as an example. As above, I figured out that all I had to do was pull it to the target point with the 7 blades and position it. Since there are 7 blades in total, I tried placing the blades one by one from the starting point to the destination. Okay, so like blade 1 going to the target point, this would be whatever you're hitting, the enemy, and you do the same thing for each individual blade. The chain has really stretched to the target position. Sure, there were bugs where each axis was pointing in the wrong direction, but it was still enough to convince me it works. Oh, okay, and you can see what the chain blade looks like here, and then this is what it looks like when it's stretched out. So that work was being done for about 3 weeks after a bit of trial and error. So this is what Anchor Rush looks like in Pleon Engine, sort of. And then this is what it looks like after all this testing. I tried it and it was more natural than I thought. So you can see how smooth that looks. That's really good progress. Still, I was relieved to be able to apply it faster than expected. In fact, the reason it could end so quickly was because the weapon animation system was already implemented. Thanks to that, it was easy to apply because it fit perfectly, and I could focus on increasing the chain without worrying about anything else. For code work, you only need to pass the destination coordinates, and the rest can be done simply like this in the control rig script. Yeah, that's really cool. What if you weren't working with the control rig? Control rig basically takes into account the chain structure and automatically does things like if you turn this bone, the adjacent bone should follow like this, but if you implement it yourself, it's animation hell. It's not impossible to implement chaining without a control rig though, but the difficulty of digging is from software level. Yeah, so this looks like it was a lot of work to do. It's cool to see how this process works. For something as simple as one of the many weapons that we use in Mabinogi for like one of the skills. I mean, this is just talking about chain blades and mostly Anchor Rush. Let's have another look at a post on the Eternity site in Korea. So, Final Dance in Eternity. I think some of you might have noticed it as you saw the image. The subject of this development log is the Xanafiedlion, so the final boss of Gen 1 in Albi Dungeon in Ternanag. So, production background, Mabinogi is a project that has grown together with our militians for a very long time. As a game that has been in service for a long time, there have been many big and small changes in Eren. I think the part where you can feel the biggest change is combat. Accordingly, there is a significant difference in battle experience between past boss monsters and new boss monsters. Examples include the Xanafiedlion from Gen 1, Final Chapter, and Myr from the Brelith. So here you can see like the Xanafiedlion, and you can see the other boss that they're talking about. In Eternity, past boss monsters that appeared in the mainstream have been transformed to fit the latest Mabinogi battle grammar. We aim to provide battle content of a quality that will satisfy all militians. And this work began with the first boss monster that militians encounter after arriving in Eren, the Incarnation of Destruction, Xanafiedlion. So there's a cool image of him there. Battle formation. As a boss appearing in the mainstream, Xanafiedlion has many attractive settings. When reimagining the battle of Xanafiedlion in Eternity, the first thing that came to mind was to incorporate these settings into the battle. Xanafiedlion first encountered in the mainstream is summoned by Keyhole's plan. So here you can see like a mana ritual and the mana ritual gauge. So the main concept of Eternity Xanafiedlion battle is consciousness suppression. The militians arrived earlier than expected and had to wake the Xanafiedlion in an incomplete state during the ceremony. The militians' first objective is to fight this imperfect Xanafiedlion and stop the mana ritual in progress during the fight. So you want to stop that gauge before it fills up. And it looks like you can see that they're doing something with the gargoyle statues there. So those are actually going to be a part of it now. I tried to incorporate the settings into the background as well. Did you know that Xanafiedlion loves gold? The boss room, which serves as the battle stage, was designed to feel like gold, ore, and a ritual altar. So it looks like this is going to be the boss room. It's completely different now. It doesn't have that square shape anymore. It's more of a circle. And the gargoyle statues actually do something in the boss fight. So that's pretty cool. And they have that interesting design on the floor. And down here you can see the old boss room, what that looks like, the square shape with the gargoyle statues. So this looks a lot better. The gargoyle statues placed in Albi Dungeon boss room also have a role. In Eternity, it is deployed as a device to conduct the rituals and is used as an in-game gimmick. At this point, you will also be able to understand the purpose of the black beads. So yeah, this is what it looks like now, and the gargoyles don't really have a purpose. And this is what the gargoyle statues look like in Eternity. After struggling to stop the mana ritual and fighting the incomplete Glass Scavellon, you will enter Phase 2. Here too, we wanted to provide a new way of having fun in Eternity rather than simply moving the map and changing phases. You remember the beam firing pattern of the Gen 1 Glass Scavellon? So here they show off that move. Oh, and this is what it looks like in Eternity. Wow, that looks way better. After putting Eternity's imperfect Glass Scavellon in danger, it unleashes a powerful beam attack. In order to utilize the existing Glass Scavellon symbol pattern more dramatically in Eternity, I added several dramatic devices to compose the pattern. In this process, the Militians each created a battle flow that allowed them to respond to the patterns in different ways and disrupt them. So it looks like that's sort of like a interaction key, maybe pressing like the space bar, I think, it says space, and you can like stop the attack. It's kind of cool. Camera work that blends in with patterns that were not easily attempted in live performances cutscenes that naturally transition to phases after performing gimmicks, etc. We are exploring and trying out various methods to ensure that you can enjoy not only the combat gameplay, but also the visual presentation. I think this visual presentation looks great. This is a big upgrade from this. Like, if you compare these two images, you can clearly see the difference. This looks way more modern and way better. In Phase 2, you will battle Glass Scavellon, the reincarnation of destruction, who has regained his power through a mana ritual. There is a change in appearance as it awakens once to match the concept. In addition to the character mesh of Glass Scavellon, you can see an even more powerful appearance in-game with effects attached to the area around the Glass Scavellon's body. So, Glass Scavellon, the Incarnation of Destruction, original artwork. This is his original artwork. And then in-game Glass Scavellon, the Incarnation of Destruction. So, yeah, this looks pretty cool. There's some amazing artwork here. Personally, I think it was cool when the bandages came off and the mask was torn, revealing what was hidden. Yeah, you can kind of see his eye right there. As he awakened as the Incarnation of Destruction, Phase 2 will proceed with the concept of burning everything. And they have a cool, like, portrait image here. And you can see all the houses and stuff burning. Seeing most of the fields on fire really gives you a feeling of fighting the very embodiment of destruction. We are also preparing boss patterns that we have not been able to introduce to you so that you can feel the setting of the boss monsters. We will do our best to ensure that you can experience authentic, immersive battles through Eternity, combining Mabinogi's uniquely engaging narrative and combat gameplay. So share your concerns. In addition to new combat content, Eternity is also preparing many combat-related improvements. Let me first introduce you to a few changes that were first applied to the Xanafiedlion. Let me first introduce you to a few changes that were first applied to the Battle of Xanafiedlion. First, there is a monster rotation. In Mabinogi, you can see the monsters bouncing around when they change direction. In Eternity, we've improved the way characters rotate directly to a different direction when their movement direction changes, making it look more natural. Okay, so we actually have two videos here. So this is what looks on Pleon Engine right now. Let's take a look at that. And this is what it will look like in Eternity. And that does look a lot better, so this will give you an idea of what to expect. Here, I'll play this one again. Secondly, there is the monster gaze. We also added an expression that guides it to the direction in which the boss is looking. I tried to structure the battles to make them feel more tense and threatening. It would be nice if this boss actually felt like a challenge again, instead of just like one-shotting him, because like that's what most can do. Like most can solo him and take him down in like 1 or 2 hits. In addition to this, we are considering various technical changes that can be incorporated into battles, and we will introduce them when the time comes. These technical changes are definitely something that can be done if possible. I think Militians will definitely like it. The biggest concern is the change in planning. The skills shown in the Eternity test demonstration video revealed at the 2025 Summer Fantasy Party, as well as the common evasion skills, can be viewed with similar concerns. The same goes for convenience in battle, such as how about adding a ping system to Mabinogi, or how about a system where skills on a cooldown are shared in the party. Alright, let's play some Mabinogi today. More commerce. Today I'm gonna try and get to Silver 2. I think I can do that. Need, I don't know, 19,000 points or something. Let's see what they have over here. Yeah, that coracle rubber. Hey, I'm in luck. Coracle rubber. Let's take that to Quilla. Oh good, I still have 1 speed potion left, because I was just thinking, oh crap, I didn't buy speed potions. And then reduction candy as well. I'll go buy speed potions at some point in the next half hour. An ancient elephant. So what's the next reward anyway? Speed potions? Yeah. Okay, then that silver one, 500,000 seasonal ducats. I didn't miss anything from the previous. Oh, I guess only forging tools. Hey there, Oreo. What's going on, buddy? My cat was just standing in the doorway there, looking at me. I don't think he needs anything. I'm pretty sure he has plenty of food and water, so. Oh, I'm full of gold. Okay. How much is left on the ground there? A little over 100k. I gotta deposit some stuff. I didn't realize I was close to my limit. Did that fine leather ever sell? Perfect. What's that cactus essence going for? Because I know they have that. $265 in Vales. Alright, why not? Let's take it all the way to Vales. Just do some really long runs to start out the day. Then by the time I get there, the price will probably drop and I'll have to take it overseas anyway. Will I even make it to Vales? I mean, with this speed potion? Yeah, I think so. It might wear off like a minute or two before I get there, but I think overall I can make it. Oh, and do I have any of those crystals? Things that make the bridge? Probably don't. So I'll have to gather one of those too. Wow, they even have Vale's vodka today. Not much of it, but still. I guess there aren't as many players doing commerce today. I need to go get some speed potions before I continue, though. I'm gonna need about 100k more. Let's see. Can I use the remote bank or do I need to stop inside? Here we go. So 5 of these.
이 편지는 제법 잘 썼네. B+.
Oh, more reduction candy. Okay. Didn't know that was down there. And then the speed potions are over here. Let's see what they have at Dumbarton.
세상엔 눈에 보이는 것 이상
Okay, so I want to take this stuff to Philia. Oh, and good timing. Got on the ship like 10 minutes before it departs. That's perfect. I gotta set alarms for all those ship times. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Maybe I'll do that this weekend or something. I guess I could take a look at the alarm feature. I've never really used it before. Okay, so let's say I turn one on. Oh, okay, so you can actually use real time or errand time. That's cool. And what if I set this alarm for 11? Let's say 11:30. And we'll call it test alarm. Wait, how long can these titles be? Test alarm, test. Okay, it looks like it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 characters. Which is impressive. So test alarm. And let's say I accept, and then we have that one. So it shows the text there. Well, it shows test, doesn't show all the text. It'd be nice if I hover the mouse over it, if it would tell me like the full message that I typed there, like test alarm. Now, let's say I wanted to turn that alarm off for a little bit. And then I wanted to add it later, so it would still be here. Okay, that's cool. It looks like you can only set 5 alarms though. So I don't think you could set one for all the ship times. Or if you did do that, then you wouldn't be able to set any additional alarms for any other thing in game, which is a little inconvenient. It'd be nice if you could have more than 5 alarms here. Or maybe do what they do with text and have like sets, so like you could have a tab for like 5 alarms in one tab, and then you could title that whatever you wanted to. And then, so I could title one tab commerce, and I could make another tab called dailies or part-time jobs. And then I could click on that and set alarms for that one and choose which tab of alarms is active. That'd be kind of cool. Sort of the way tech profiles work for your tech skills. Like, I don't really need alarms for much, so like I'd probably only use it for commerce, so 5 would probably be enough for me. But I imagine there are a lot of other players that use alarms for like part-time jobs and other stuff, so I can see how it would be annoying for a player like that to be limited to only 5. Okay, so now we have 122,000. That's nice. Let's go back to core. I'll bet that coracle rubber is sold out by now, but it'd be nice if it didn't. Oh wow, they still have some. So we'll take that to Philia for 302 and take some of those to Philia as well. So it's gonna be real easy to hit 130k today. What do I need for the next rank? 170, so 40k after we get to silver 2. Well, can at least get a start on it. So I'll probably get to silver 1. I would like to get to silver 1 by tomorrow, but I probably won't, not unless I really feel like putting in a lot of effort into commerce, but for sure by Monday, probably. And then after that, there's the gold, and then the platinum, and then the diamond, and then challenger. $1,500,000 to get the challenger, and I don't even have 130,000 yet. Long way to go. But I think it's only been like a week since this trade season started, so we're off to a good start at least. See how many of these bridges in the Aaron's Gorge are up. Well, this one's not. So this is worth 302 here, and then 27. Interesting how gems stack now. Yeah, I don't think they did that like a month or two ago. Let's go to the association room for a second. Buy some spirit stones, because I think I can do that during this event. Just take like a 5-minute break from the commerce. Do some other stuff. Wait, how many of those can I buy? Okay. $43, and this one should take it up to 46. I think that's all of them. Did I miss any? No. Okay. Wait a minute, so how many Arcana do we have anyway? Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the Alchemic Sharpshooter would be 10. How many spirit weapons can we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and then Irie counts as 9? Okay. I wonder if they'll increase the number of spirit weapons we can have, because right now there are more Arcana than there are spirit weapons. And in a lot of cases, the ultimate for a spirit weapon is really helpful to like an Arcana, for example. Like the ultimate for dual gun, like this ultimate here, you don't have to reload your dual guns anymore. They just reload automatically without stopping, like when you run out of ammo. That makes using Arsenal Gunner way easier. And then this one, so combo skill attack speed for stages 2 and 3 increases, so this is helpful for for like the Blazing Brawler and stuff, so I don't know, I feel like maybe one day we'll get more spirit weapons because they're more Arcana too. Alright, back to the commerce. Where do I want to commerce from next? Let's try Dumbarton again. $9.54 in core. That's a lot. Yeah, we'll take it there. Why not? It'll waste some of the speed potion time, but who cares? I have enough of them. Oh wow, I'm getting really lucky. Like, I'm not planning this at all, I just happen to be getting on the ship, like, a little bit before it leaves. Completely on accident. It'll be nice to see the ships in Unreal, like... What's going on here? Why is there a chunk of this ship missing, like right here? It's not just the camera angle or anything like that. There's actually like a piece of the ship that's missing that should be here in the back. Okay, so all that stuff has been sold, and we now have 26,672. Let's go somewhere in Ulan. How about Tailton? Do they have? Probably make a run to Bangor from here. Barrier spike crystals? 47 in Bangor? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's go ahead and take them there. Okay, so 2,500 points to go. Let's see. How about we try Cobb, see what they have. It's only gonna take maybe 2 or 3 more rounds of commerce to get to silver 2, I think. After that, I might do a little bounty hunting, because I do have some passes I need to use up, so might get some bounty hunting done today. Scales. Oh, they don't have very many scales. Okay, let's buy all the scales they have, and then some of those jellyfish. And 1 thing of Cobb seaweed. Alright, so we have the seaweed, we have the scales, and we have the jellyfish. A little bit more to go. Let's take a look at Tirconale next, see what they have over there. $61 at Tara? Alright. Take these next. Alright, one more round of commerce should do it, so let's maybe try something from Tailton to Bangor. So barrier spike crystals, those are worth 45 in Bangor. Gonna take those there. And that should be enough to get to, what is it, Silver 2? And then once I hit Silver 2, I will be 40,000 away from Silver 1. So I'm kind of thinking... like 40,000 points get to Silver 1. I'll probably get around 20,000 points tomorrow, and then 20,000 points Monday, and then get to Silver 1, something like that. Almost have 5 mil seasonal ducats. Alright, there it is. Silver rank 2. So we can get the next reward. More speed potions. My Tailton farm, I haven't really been working on it that much. I mean, I did the tutorial thing a little bit, but I haven't really been working on it since then. I heard some players didn't like the Tailton farm thing because they cap like how much you can do to prevent like bots and stuff. And I also hear that like takes a lot of attention. You have to really be watching your crops and stuff to get the best quality products. Put these speed potions right over here. Or actually right over here, because I'm going to use them. Well, not today, but tomorrow when I do more commerce. A little bit of both, actually. I'm more focused on the new commerce season to save up ducats for the cat backpack items and stuff like that. And also, I'm just not a huge farmer in general, both in-game and real life. It just looks like it's kind of a time-consuming thing to do. I mean, I think it's great if other players like it. It seems like it's well put together. People even say that it's like it's a good update. They just don't like the limitations put on it that prevent them from farming as much. I might look into actually gathering those rare materials, though, that appear around Erin now, because I think you can use some of those for bartering, so at some point I may take a closer look at that. I mean, if there are special rewards that you can only get from farming that look interesting, I'd probably do it if it was worth it. But if it's just for mostly another way to earn gold, I think that's great, but it's not enough to get me into doing it full time. Oh, so it gives like a small chance to get like a really big check worth like a lot of gold, so the payoff could be really good. The problem is, though, how many players does it actually happen for, though? Because it's like, how many times do you have to do that to actually get that? It's like the ice fishing event with the fish traps. What are your realistic chances of getting a black bag? I've done that event like 5 times, and I've only gotten 1 black bag coupon out of the 5 times I've done the event. So, I mean, it is possible, it's just not... It just doesn't happen very often. I don't know if the low rates justify the effort. I mean, a 300k check is still pretty good. Like, if you can earn gold that way from it, there are definitely players in it that play the game mostly just to do part-time jobs and dailies and things that don't really revolve around heavy combat. And I think this is a great option for those kinds of players. It's a good way for them to be able to make a decent amount of gold, focusing mostly on life skills. So, like, that's why I'm still supportive of it. It's great for those kinds of players who prefer to do that sort of thing. It's just not necessarily for me. The other thing about it too is I kind of wish that, like, you enter it from here, and this menu is kind of cool, I guess, but I think it'd be better if they added a tab here for it in your homestead menu. Like, we already have Moonlight Islands and we already have homesteads. Both involve farming to like some extent, and now I have to remember to come all the way down here to open up this thing to go to my Tailton farm. Like, why not just put it in this menu as well? Because I'm gonna forget about it down here. That's what's gonna happen. Because I check my homestead for like herbs and other things, so if I open up this menu, I'd be like, oh yeah, my Tailton farm's here. I guess I could spend 5 minutes doing something on it really fast. Well, but like, I'm gonna forget about it if it's all the way over here all the time. These guys are pretty stubborn about dropping a homestead pass today. I guess I'll check out the Rupes Manto next. Yeah, I haven't really done that much Moonlight Island work. Like, I kept an eye on the update. I covered it when it came out in Korea. I went over like all that, translated the pages, and I created one. I just haven't spent a lot of time on one, and that's because it just involves a lot of like farming type work, which I just don't do very much of. I do more homestead work, but I got interested in that because I wanted to like start an herb garden, because you use that in potion making, glyph writing, and a bunch of other crap, and it's just really convenient to get your herbs from a homestead. But yeah, I feel like if the Tailton farm thing is sort of your own private farm thing, why not put it where the other two farm things are? Nexon will always find a way to mess things up eventually. Like, it's like Nexon will do good work. If you play any of their games, most of them have a lot of effort put into them. They're like not cheaply made or anything like that most of the time. But eventually they'll find some way to mess it up. They'll make the farming really tedious and annoying and change the way the game is supposed to be played, or they'll just monetize the hell out of something for no reason. That's just the way they do things. And then sometimes you might have it good for a little while. You might have a couple of good updates that'll actually do what players want, and then they'll take that away from the players. So it's a repeating process. They give you just enough to stick around, and then they take it away and then add in their monetization and bad choices. And then when they know that players are getting fed up with that, then they'll give you what you want again, because they don't want too many of you to leave. That's why Maple Story 2 fell. They tried monetizing that too early. They released that in October. It was really good. Game had a lot of potential, and everything was fine up until like December or so. And like in December or January, they started monetizing everything in the game, way too much. And then I think it died before it was even officially 1 year old. Well, the NA version did. The Korean version lasted a little bit longer, and that one shut down like a year ago or something. Still no homestead pass. Where have I not checked yet? I'm doing bounty hunting right now, just to kind of take a little break from the tedious work of commerce. And usually if I'm bandits, I just hop from mana tunnel to mana tunnel until they show up, which usually they do. Just gotta find the right areas. Hey, there's an outlaw homestead pass. Oh, I actually found the outlaw, okay. There we go. I also noticed that they use the Bandit Homestead map for the Tailton Farm area. Like, they just took out the bandit stuff here, and then put like a big fence around it for your Tailton Farm. But if you look at your Tailton Farm map, you can still see the same river and the same bridge that Bandit Homesteads have. So I guess Stinky Burkus is next, and then just repeat the same process all over again. The thing about bounty hunting is, if you have passes that get you around, like, with these I get 18,000 plus the normal 1,000 that you get without using a pass, so you get like 19k in total for completing a run. And it can be really fast or really slow depending on how fast they drop the pass. Like, sometimes they'll drop a pass as early as the first time encountering bandits, like, well, no, they dropped leather this time. So sometimes a bounty hunting run can be as short as 3 or 4 minutes. And then sometimes you'll have a hard time getting them to drop the pass and be out here for like 10-15 minutes, so... It's interesting. Doesn't get me closer to the challenger rank, but if I had to do commerce all the time to get my ducats, I'd probably go insane. See, this time the pass showed up right away after the second group. One reason why I would recommend to like new players to do bounty hunting is when you go to an outlaw's homestead, you can actually take their homestead stone. You can harvest from their Homestead Stone Pile if you have a pickaxe 2 times, and then the chest usually has like homestead seeds and stuff, so it's pretty handy for leveling up your homestead a little bit faster if you need like the extra stones or seeds. Oh, see, this time the first group dropped the pass, so that went really fast. Dark Diviner is also pretty broken for this too, like it makes taking out bandits go really fast. I'm not even sure I could do that fast with Final Hit. There's Outlaw Pass. Alright. Oh, and this time we actually get the Outlaw. Nice. Maybe I should hunt down Zippy next. I don't know if I need more points on him. I need one more point on Zippy, so yeah, I guess I'll track down Zippy, and if I find him, I might get that point on him. No bandits out here. Or out here. Wow, Zippy's really hiding then. Let's try the Dragon Tomb. Okay, there's a pass. Oh, 2 passes. I only need one of them. So we'll start back at the Dragonbone Tomb again, because that's where I found bandits last time. They might show up here again. Oh wait, I wonder if this pass is still good. Or is it expired? Hey, it's still good, nice. We can just do that. Didn't even need to encounter bandits that time. Okay, let's go again. Alright, next area. Let's check out the Lutra River. Yeah, nothing out here. I should check out the mana tunnels in the Karu Forest. Check out the North Karu Forest area. Nah, there's nothing out here. Maybe I'll check out the Maze Prairie. There's a homestead pass. Oh, and I found Zippy. Nice. I should fight him with my dream catcher. There. I think I got his transformation. Perfect. So how many more points do I need on Nelson then? 2. So I guess I'll hunt down him next. No bandits out here. Oh wait, here's one. There's the pass. Nothing out here. Oh wait, here's one. Alright, this time I actually found Nelson. Oh, we got a point on him. Nice. Because I wasn't using my Dreamcatcher, so my chances were 10% lower. Actually, now that I think about it, I still have some of those Reforged tools left, don't I? I could use that on here. Oh, that's cool. This one actually affects my transformations, so I'd have more magic defense. I wonder if that's like only when I'm transformed or just in general. I don't have very many of these left. Maybe I should settle for this one. Because with the one I started with, that one just gave me a small amount of luck as a boost. This one probably gives me a bigger luck boost, more magic attack, and that transformation thing. But what I'm wondering is, like with my Fleet Feet, I actually got a Reforge that increases the movement speed even more from the Reforge. I wonder if there's a Reforge for Dreamcatchers that increases the chance of collecting points on transformation. But no, for now I'll settle for this. This is really good. Let's use the last of them on my adventure L-Rods. I still haven't found a good prefix enchant for those L-Rods. But let's use the last one on these. Oh, this is much better. Way more exploration range. The magic attack and MP I don't really think do anything. But the exploration range is good. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. I only have 2 Reforged tools left. I should use it on my Shuriken. Because who knows if we'll ever get a Ninja Arcana. It'll be after we move to Unreal, because they said they weren't going to do any more Arcana until after Unreal, but I'm still looking forward to a Ninja Arcana. How much more bounty hunting should I do? I gotta use up a lot of those passes. Let's go after Herbert next. I think I still need points on him. Yeah, I don't have any on him. Alright, finally got a homestead pass. I don't really care that much if I actually find the outlaws or not. Like, yeah, eventually I want to get all the bandit transformations on this character, but that's more of a secondary goal. There'll be other commerce seasons to try and do that. Alright, let's go after him again. So I found bandits over here last time. Oh wow, this time we got past right away. Oh, and here he is. Cool. And we got a point on him too. Is this my first time catching him? I wonder if I get the journal point. Okay, no, it's not my first time defeating him. This is the first point on him. So who else is on the board? I need one more point on Nelson and 2 more points on Herbie. And none of those guys are on the board, so we'll go after One-Eyed Clugger. Ooh, fine leather. That's valuable. Let's go again. So we'll check out this area again. Bandits are still here. No pass this time. Go over here next. How many speed potions do I have left? 1? Might use that up. Nothing over here. Let's check out the dragon bone tomb. Nothing. Alright, we'll check out the Lutra River next. Okay, here's something. Alright, I think that's good enough. Let's go back to Quilla. Alright, so I think we'll wrap things up here for today. And tomorrow we will work on getting to Silver 1. So I need to get like 40,000 points to get to Silver 1. So I could probably get like 20 or 30,000 points tomorrow.